The Empire's devastating defeat at the Battle of Endor in Star Wars Return of the Jedi saw the death of Emperor Palpatine, Darth Vader, as well as the destruction of the second Death Star, including half the Imperial fleet present during the conflict. All this resulted in the Empire removed from overall control of the galaxy and replaced by the New Republic. Without its tyrannical leader, the Galactic Empire disseminated very swiftly into a decline they never regained until 42 ABY, when the Fel dynasty ruled over the galaxy with the same imperial ideals as Palpatine's Galactic Empire, although not as oppressive as a regime. Welcome to another Imperials Explained video, and in this video I wanted to explain the idea of the Galactic Empire winning the Battle of Endor and how they could have possibly changed the course of the story in a different direction. So if we start with the events happening at the Battle of Endor and the decisive moments in favour of the Empire, that would have meant Luke defeating Darth Vader only to be killed by Emperor Palpatine, and realising Vader is dying, Palpatine kills him too. Meanwhile, the Imperial fleet and the Death Star have destroyed the Rebel Alliance fleet, and so on Endor's surface the Imperial garrison have crushed the Rebels' attempt to sabotage the Death Star's shield generator, killing Han Solo and Leia Organa during the fighting. A victory like that would have removed almost all of the Rebel Alliance military threat, as their attack at Endor was the best chance of stopping the Empire, using a second, more powerful Death Star, spreading fear across the galaxy. So what could have been the likely events which followed the aftermath of the battle, had Palpatine emerged as the victor? So firstly, the way I see it, the second Death Star was fast-tracked to completion by Moff Gideon, having all the resources available to finish the battle station. A large Imperial fleet was left to protect the station against any unexpected reprisals, although very unlikely now the Empire had built up their defences at Endor, and the rebels would not have anything like a credible number of ships left to successfully threaten. Knowing all of this, Palpatine moved swiftly to punish worlds he knew was a rebellious threat to the Empire, as it mentions in the canon Star Wars Complete Locations book. However, in the Essential Guide to Warfare, it outlines those worlds as Chandrila and Mon Calamari. But also, the Emperor may have gone after other untrustworthy worlds, such as Corellia and Bothamwee, due to parts of their populations creating rebellious acts against the Empire. Immediately after, the Emperor sent huge fleets to blockade the Rebel Alliance sympathetic worlds, and after the second Death Star was completed, the battle station was sent to destroy them. Meanwhile, the Emperor returns to Coruscant to continue his reclusive existence inside the Imperial Palace. Palpatine realised that still members of the Rebel Alliance leadership would have been scattered across the galaxy, including its leader, Mon Mothma. In order to hunt them down, Palpatine takes on a new apprentice to recruit dark side adepts, similar to the Inquisitors, to track down the remaining rebel leaders and attempt to exterminate them. Despite the Empire's victory to demoralise the Rebel Alliance, the Emperor's vigilance has taught him the rebels would not simply give up their struggle, and so Imperial intelligence agents are on high alert for any anti-Imperial activity where identified. Without a democratically run galaxy, there would always be parts of galactic society that would attempt to oppose the Emperor's regime. For me, the Empire could not rest on their laurels and forget about the rebels, as Mon Mothma, given time, could build up a new fighting force to attempt to topple the Imperial regime. As mentioned in the Dark Empire sourcebook, nothing would be left to inferiors this time, as Palpatine moved swiftly to crush any defiant races. With the second Death Star and its huge war machine of Star Destroyers and now World Devastators, the Emperor either chose to destroy any further worlds, or extract their natural resources, consuming its metals, carbons and rare elements locked within the planet's core. The Empire could use them to manufacture new and more powerful fighters, attack craft and weaponry. As each world fell, its resources would be used to fuel the assaults on other worlds. Once Palpatine finally prevented future insurgents from rising up against him, the Emperor turned his attentions to focus on the dark side of the Force, and ensuring he would live forever by creating clones of himself to achieve immortality, as the Dark Empire sourcebook points out. Although in legend Palpatine returns in 10 ABY to launch the Empire Reborn, however, in this sequence of events, the same plans would have happened, but instead within a couple of years after the Battle of Endor and crushing the Rebel Alliance. And so the Galactic Empire, as Palpatine had planned it, would transcend into the Dark Empire, the difference being the Emperor's vision of ruling the galaxy by using far more power of the dark side of the Force to control the populace and foreseeing events and threats to himself or the Empire. What no one had realised during the first 23 years of the Galactic Empire was just how much Emperor Palpatine had relied on the dark side of the Force. He had used his knowledge and immense power to shape those of his government. His control was also extended to his Imperial fleets and his legions. He cleverly used it to destroy his enemies from a distance and learn the conspiracies against him. Without it, there was no way the Empire could endure as he had designed it. The dark side flowed through him and was the key to all his power. For the dark side, the key to immortality was his mastery of cloning, to ensure the Empire could rule the galaxy indefinitely. Palpatine had succeeded where others had failed in taming the dark side. He planned to journey across the universe, spreading his shadow of his rule, blotting out star systems themselves, and taking his dark rule to other helpless galaxies beyond the Imperial known galaxy. However, Palpatine always sensed through his dark side powers there were disturbing forces out in the unknown regions, and he attempted to observe what was out there through scientific exploration. It seems very possible he would have continued to understand the threats to the Empire. Like in Legends, the Yuuzhan Vong attacked and almost took over the known galaxy. Palpatine would have ensured the Empire's military strength would have securely protected the known space from threats like the Yuuzhan Vong and furthered the Empire to other galaxies. So that is my opinion on Palpatine's course of action had the Empire won the Battle of Endor. But what do you think he would have done or achieved? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and as always, long live the Empire.